What's up, gang? It's Deltia from DeltiusGaming.com, here to do a video with my friend Psycho, and today we're going to try to understand crowd control, meaning snares, immobilizes, breaking CC, breaking crowd control. That's what crowd control means. Essentially a way to manipulate a target. As this guy sneaks in behind you, don't get shot, Psycho. Okay, so there's a couple different things you need to know about immobilizations and or stuns. You have something called a hard stun and a soft stun. A hard stun is something that once you're stunned, you don't break out of it by damage. A soft stun is something that if you're mezzed, so if you take damage, you get unstunned. So an example of this is fossilize. So I want you to fossilize me, Psycho. So now I can't do anything. I can't move unless I break it. Now go ahead and hit me with something. Hit me again. You didn't do enough damage. Yeah. Keep going. Boom. See, it breaks it. That's what's called a soft stun. A hard stun is something that I have, like mass hysteria fear. So I can hit on him, hit on him, hit on him, and hit on him until he breaks it. So you'll notice a couple things here. These little twirly white lines below us. So when I stun him, if he CC breaks it, he has 6 seconds of immunity. Break. 1, 2, 3. So that immunity is given so you can't constantly get stunned by someone. There's gear sets and other things that lower the cost of that and then also increase the duration. Just know that it's 6 seconds. Now why is that important? Because the amount of stamina you have directly relates to how much CC it costs to break out of it. So stun me. Watch my stamina bar. 20% of my stamina because I'm a stamina build. Now if I stun Psycho, break it. How much stamina did that take away?
That's about half.
About half because he's a magic build. So you have to build your character around knowing that you're going to get stunned. And in 1v1 play or small group, you want to stun a target once every 6 seconds. Okay, so that's stuns, mezzes, soft stuns, and hard stuns. Now the trick to getting really good, I've found, as I improve my solo play, is the difference between stuns and immobilizes. There's two different things, so watch this. Mobilizes, like that. He can't move until its effect or duration ends. So mobilize, can't move, right? Bombard, another immobilize in the bow bar. Now the trick with this is you can't move unless you dodge roll. Dodge roll? So then the immobilization's effect ends. So did you hit me with the fossilize? The reason fossilize is so powerful, it's a CC and an immobilization. So right there, it takes about 20% of my stamina away to break the CC, and I have to dodge roll in order to get out of it. Okay, so every class has some way to do basically both things. Bow bar has bombard. That's an immobilization. It's AoE and it's range. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. Crippling grasp is also an immobilize. So what you want to do in individual fights is stun and immobilize. So if I put pressure on Psycho, make sure to heal yourself. I'm going to stun him. As soon as he breaks it, immobilize. He draws dodge roll out of it, I'm going to mobilize again. Remember, they're on 2 different timers. So you constantly put pressure on immobilizations and stuns. And every class has a way to stun. He blocks it, so what I'm going to do, mass hysteria. So on and so forth. There's also ultimates that stuns, and everyone has access to a bunch of non-class specific stuns. Sword and Board has Power Bash. That's a stun. You got Destruction Staff, Destructive Touch. That's a range stun. You keep on going, and there's even things... where is it? World. They have stuns in Werewolf, Mages Guild, and Fighters Guild. They have Fire Ruin. You can even use Silver Shards. And Circle of Protection is actually a fear. That's pretty good. And so one of the most powerful abilities in the game that you're going to see is Mass Hysteria, which is this. That is probably the most powerful stun. Why? You can't control your character until you break it, and it doesn't give off a big, huge look. You can't really see your character change too much. So let's talk about how you break CC and why. First thing is, I don't know what console, if you're playing consoles or PC, you need to check your keybinds. On consoles, I think it's block and the right trigger I'm pretty sure. But in PC land, it's your bash button. So let's scroll down. Interrupts. I changed this to C. The reason I do is both mouses just do not work for me. So if I know that I can just hit one key to CC break, I'm much more likely to survive. Here's why. In Dueling Knights, what we do is we try to break CC as fast as possible. Because if you don't, a Nightblade will kill you. See, he broke it just fast enough to get his block up. If that were anyone else and his block wasn't up, one concealed weapon into a killer's blade, he's dead. So you have to get really, really good at knowing which type of stun you are affected by. So same with me. Let's just practice not killing each other, but stunning each other over and over. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom, break it. He gets me immobilized. I try to mobilize him. He comes towards me. I cloak. He blocking. Boom, fear. Mobilize. He mobilized me within the fear. God, you bastard. And fear. Ugh. So you can see that we're not even trying to hit each other that hard, but it's a game of stamina. And as I learn more playing with Cypher and dueling, that's going to help you out so much. So let's think we're not playing 1v1 and we're doing a whole group. If you go jump into a huge group, 9 times out of 10 you will be stunned right away. You just will be. You'll be stunned or immobilized. So make sure that you have that CC break ready. Because once you get your immunity with this big circle here, 6 seconds, you know that you can do some heavy damage. See, he can't stun me. Save your burst for when you can't be stunned. Save your ultimates for when you can't be stunned. So if I go in here and I can't be stunned, then I'm going to use my, boom, Soul Harvest. Don't use it if you know you're going to be stunned right away. Otherwise, you'll just burn an ultimate. Same thing with burst on him. If I jump in here and I try to use a big burst ability with this block up, it's not going to work. If I go in here and then I stun him, block drops, boom. That's the best way to produce big results. Okay, so how do you counteract these? Well, one way with retreating maneuvers, you can counteract it by increased movement speed. Also, you will not be snared or immobilized while you have this up. But if you attack, you won't be. So watch this. Okay, so try to snare me with talons. Nope. Talons. Nope. Doesn't work, right? Now I attack once. Now try it. I have it. Notice that a CC and Immobilize are on 2 different counters. So CC me with Fossilize, I break, right? So they 6 seconds. I hit retreating maneuvers, I attack, but guess what? Talons. See? So you have a whole new mechanism of control, which is immobilizing. You can CC and immobilize. That's how you keep pressure on someone. Because if I really want to get out of this, if you talons me, I dodge roll, fossilize. Boom. You're constantly, now you get in my face and keep on talonsing me. So you have to be close. Now I'm talons and I'm fossilized. It's just a nightmare. But I fossilize him, try to create space. So the game is immobilizing and stunning groups. Okay. So that's one way to counteract immobilization. Another way to counteract stuns is a couple of different ways. One, you have in the armor tree, heavy armor, immovable. Doesn't matter which morph you take, but here you can get that immunity by 6 seconds just doing that. The more heavy armor you have, the more the duration goes up with one morph or the reduced cost. And then another way to avoid it is Mistform. Do you have Mistform? That's what the vampires use. Elusive Mist gives you 40% movement speed and you cannot be CC'd. But guess what you can be? You can be immobilized. So that person using mist speed all the time, you can then immobilize them. So a devastating combo is hitting retrieving movers, then Mistform. Because you can't be stunned and you can't be immobilized. Oftentimes we'll do this before we go in a keep. Leave me alone. I'm just a little Khajiit. Okay. So those are a couple things on CC breaking, crowd control, and what you need to do. Now I want to go through each class and show you what classes use to CC, and so you guys can combat it and you know what it looks like. But just know there's a counter to everything. And the counter to getting stunned is from the World Vampire or the armor, heavy armor. That's the stun counter. The other counter is retreating maneuvers, and other classes have different ways to get rid of it. But let's go over each class now. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys what the stuns look like on a Sorcerer and a Templar. That way you have some recognition of almost every CC in the game. This doesn't count all, but like I said, it's going to give you a good frame of reference. Surprisingly, the Sorcerer and the Templar have tons of CC and immobilizes. So on my Sorc here, I got Restraining Prison, a lot of Sorcs don't use, but immobilizes enemy. You also have Daedric Minefield, which is an awesome mobilization that I show out in my Frag Out build, and Troll Cage, or Rune Cage, which is a cast, but stuns them. And then damage over time does not end the effect, kind of like a Mez. So you have that, and then good old Streak. People use the other morph, Bolt Escape, to escape, but I like Streak as a good stun in CC. Immobilize Sorc be without crystal frags. A range, hard hitting, bang in your face CC. Now the Templar itself has almost one entire skill line that's CC, which is the Aedric Spear. You have a leap, you have a throw spear, you have jabs. I mean, there's just so much CC with the Templar. So let's show you what mine is first. What I like to do is I like to streak through enemies. It stuns them. Once he breaks it, then you can also immobilize them like that. So you can put a lot of pressure on someone with stuns and immobilizations. And look at the range that has. So I can get pretty far back and immobilize them, controlling them not getting to me. So also we have the Daedric Minefield. It does take a second to activate, but if he tries to come at me, boom, he's immobilized. And then also we have Troll Cage. So that's kind of a weird one that you don't see a whole lot of because it is casted. And then we have Negate as well, or Storm Atronach. Another CC. So Sorcs have a lot of CC. And then of course, I want to show you the Crystal Frags. Waiting for that proc. There we go. And bang. Hits like a truck. This character isn't geared out, but still. That is a lot of CC, a lot of range, a lot of mobility. Okay, so Psycho, let's go ahead and show what we have to offer as Templars. So we have the leap. I want you to leap at me. Now that leap will knock you down or stun you if you're casting and one morph stuns, one morph doesn't. So he has the morph that doesn't stun and does a whole lot of damage. So go ahead and do jabs. So that's kind of a knockback there. Whoa. Oh, don't kill me. I'm squishy and I don't have any gear. Okay. So that's a knockback that you can break. The good thing about jabs is it constantly stuns an enemy. The bad thing about jabs is it constantly stuns an enemy. So if you have someone that you know that knows what they're doing, constantly stunning them might give them an advantage. So just be careful on the jab spam. Also, you have a couple knockbacks and another stun. So throw a spear at me. Knockback, and you can CC breakout right away. And then also Blazing Spear. The nice thing about Blazing Spear, it's a ranged knockdown. The thing about it is, though, that you can throw it on groups, but it's only going to CC one target. So if he just spear spams, it's going to CC one target at a time. So go ahead and spear spam. So if we're in a group of 20, it's going to CC me, and it's going to CC someone else, and so on and so forth. So Templar, Aedric Spear is an entire skill line devoted to that. There's also individual weapons that have tons and tons of CC, but experiment it. If you want to know if something has it, read the tooltip. Destructive Touch, Knockback, those are CC. And then if you can't control your character, can't move, try a Bash. If you can't move, you're going to need the dodge roll. And these are the basics of crowd control. Obviously, I'm learning. We're all learning together. But I see a lot of people struggling in PvP because they just simply don't know how to break CC and don't do it fast. It's the difference between winning or losing. Crystal Frags. So if you don't break CC in that 1 second, I can put a lot of pressure on you with some crushing shocks. But if you do break CC and then you apply it to me, go ahead and stun me or knock back me, then guess what? Now you can put pressure back on me. And you can CC an entire group as well, especially with Storm Atronach and some other abilities. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. I appreciate you watching. Feel free to subscribe and tell your buddies about this, because the more people that are better at CC breaking, regardless of what faction you are, the better we're all going to get at PvP. Thank you so much.